Okay, so let's unpack this. Today we're taking a deep dive into the really remarkable journey and profound philosophy of Jacqueline Novogratz.
Yeah, a true force in the world of social change.
Absolutely. We've got some incredible insights from her discussions, and our mission for this deep dive is really to pull out the key nuggets about her life and, her call for a moral revolution.
Sounds good. Where do we start? Her background.
Yeah, let's start there. So Jacqueline grew up in a military family, oldest of 7 kids.
Wow, 7.
Right. And that really instilled in her this fierce sense of duty, scrappiness too, and this drive to kind of make the impossible possible.
That makes sense. That environment.
Definitely. It led her initially into banking, if you can believe it. She was on a fast track. Huge career ahead.
But she didn't stay.
No, she shocked everyone. Quit her job to co-found Rwanda's first microfinance institution.
That's a huge leap.
Huge.
Yeah.
And then from there, she went on to found the legendary Acumen Fund, the impact investment platform.
Right, pioneering stuff.
Yeah.
Investing in social enterprises, looking for that social and environmental impact alongside financial returns.
Exactly.
And the impact Acumen's had, it's undeniable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Under her leadership, they've backed over, 128 social enterprises?
Yeah, across Africa, Latin America, South Asia, the U.S.
And reaching more than 300 million lives. I mean, that's just a staggering reach.
It really, really is. And Novogratz, she sees us all right now in this moment of, profound disruption, which she believes calls for a moral revolution. That's the title of her book, right? Manifesto for a Moral Revolution, Practices to Build a Better World.
Yeah, powerful title.
And it's not just about, hope. It's about powerful ideas, proven models, real-world examples of what's actually possible when we step up, take collective responsibility and action.
So we're going to explore how her own experiences shaped that vision.
Exactly. And how it's being put into practice. Let's dig into that early life. It was, pretty mobile.
Right, the 19 moves before age 10.
Yeah, a consequence of her dad being in the military. And add to that being the oldest of 7 siblings.
9 people in 4 bedrooms, she said.
That's it. It cultivated this really unique family dynamic. They called themselves a tribe.
Huh. And that kind of upbringing, it taught her skills early on in holding tensions, didn't it?
Explain that a bit.
Well, like the joy of making friends quickly in a new place, but also the pain of knowing you're going to leave them soon.
Yeah.
It fostered this sense of being able to leave and not really leave people behind. That ability to sort of sit with paradox, with discomfort, that seems foundational for her later work.
It's a really interesting point, that comfort with paradox.
Especially when you're tackling complex social problems. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And her mother sounds like a massive influence, too. Described as an incredible myth maker.
Who instilled that importance of being present. Be where you are.
Right. And the example of making any place feel like home within a week, even putting flowers in a hotel room.
That's lovely. It created this sense of safety, a refuge in what sounds like a loud, chaotic, but loving home.
And it clearly worked. All 7 siblings became entrepreneurs, apparently, with that common foundation. It's quite a testament to her mom.
Absolutely. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, growing up in that immigrant Catholic military family in the 60s and 70s, duty was huge.
Right.
Her father did 3 tours in Vietnam. So she saw firsthand that complex paradox of being deeply proud of his patriotism, his duty, while also feeling divided about a war that, wasn't good for us, she put it.
That's heavy stuff for a kid to process.
Totally. And she believes we need to get better at holding those kinds of paradoxes today instead of just defaulting to, black and white thinking.
I think that really resonates with everything going on right now. How do you think that skill, holding paradoxes, shaped her approach later?
It seems like it gave her this capacity to see complexity, to understand that good intentions aren't always enough, that solutions aren't simple, navigating the gray areas.
That makes a lot of sense. And the seeds of service, they were planted really young, too. From age 6, she wanted to change the world.
Wow, age 6.
Yeah. A nun, Sister Mary Theophane, apparently hammered in the service side. And her father reinforced the duty side with that phrase, to whom much is given, much is expected.
That classic line.
Right. And she was drawn to badass saints, she called them. People fighting for social justice. Not for religious reasons necessarily, but because they were committed to something bigger than themselves.
Interesting.
So fast forward a bit. She wants to be an English major, maybe a war journalist at UVA.
Okay.
But her immigrant dad, worried she'd starve to death, pushes her towards economics.
Ah, the practical parent.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which leads her to this reluctant interview with Chase Manhattan Bank.
Okay, not exactly changing the world yet.
Not yet. But then the interviewer drops this line: if you got this job, you would be in 40 countries in the next 3 years.
Ah, that sparked something.
Instantly captivated her. And then in this, really unusual move, she asks to start this interview over.
Seriously? Wow.
Yeah. It shows that instinct, right? To make the impossible possible, that willingness to ask, what could I lose?
That takes guts.
Yeah.
And it links to another idea she talks about, doesn't it? About freedom and constraint.
Yeah, tell us about that. It sounds counterintuitive.
Well, she argues that freedom doesn't really exist without constraint. That, in fact, the more constraints you have, the more chances you get to find your own freedom.
Huh. Like an artist with limitations.
Exactly. Like an artist with a limited budget or just a few tools, forced to get creative. A kind of same North Star, 1,000 paths to it way of thinking.
That's a powerful way to look at challenges.
It is. And while she was at Chase, her awareness of these huge global disparities just kept growing.
Right, working in places like Brazil and Chile.
Yeah, she saw these, beautiful street kids, innovative mothers selling goods on the street, and then saw the bank writing off hundreds of millions in loans to elites who were just moving money offshore.
Wow, the contrast.
It completely took the bottom out of her sense of order in the world, she said.
You can see how that would be a turning point. That must have been when she started asking the big question.
Exactly. First, why is it like this? And then the really critical one, why not?
Why not change it?
Right. She actually proposed to her bank manager setting up a lending program for these poor individuals.
Did she really?
Yeah, arguing they might even have a better repayment rate than some of the elites.
What did the manager say?
He basically gave her a book called The Innocent Anthropologist.
Ouch. A polite no?
Pretty much. And she realized, okay, this is my cue. Time to start creating my own path.
And that's where microfinance comes in more strongly.
Yeah, she was totally thrilled by the work of Muhammad Yunus. The whole concept of barefoot bankers to the poor, especially that statistic, the 99% repayment rate from the poorest women. It just resonated with her sense of hard work, duty, the dignity of work.
So about 3 years into her banking career, she's doing well, ranked #1 in productivity.
Okay.
But her boss pulls her aside and critiques her for dressing like Linda Ronstadt and laughing too loudly, tells her she needed to change.
Oh, wow. Seriously?
Yeah, and that was the moment she realized this path, this corporate ladder, it would fundamentally change who she was.
So she wouldn't compromise.
Nope. She decided to cut the rope, as she put it, venture off on this different path, trusting that, hey, if it failed, she can probably always go back to a conventional career.
That's still a big risk, though.
Huge. Which brings us to Rwanda. Those humble beginnings really highlight this new direction.
Right, her first role in Africa. Supposedly an ambassador to women for a microfinance movement.
Yeah, but it was basically a blank slate. No support system. She said she failed over and over. Until an African woman asked her to help build a credit institution in Rwanda, a country she admitted she couldn't even find on a map at first.
That shows some humility right there.
Well, and that's where the real learning about humility kicked in, according to her. She initially arrived with this arrogance of saving the world.
Yeah, a common pitfall.
And just hit wall after wall. She quickly realized she wasn't the important one. Her job was to accompany people on a journey so they could build, because they were the ones who were going to stay.
Shifting from hero to facilitator, like you said.
Exactly. It meant learning to listen first, to come in as a guest. And eventually, she said, she started being treated more as a local.
That's a powerful shift.
So the bank she helped build with 5 Rwandan women, it became the biggest microfinance lender in the country. A success story.
But then,
4 years after she left, the Rwandan genocide erupted. 1994-95, destroyed everything. And the truly brutal realization for her was that those 5 women she'd worked so closely with, shoulder to shoulder, they played every role of the genocide, including being perpetrators.
Oh my God. That's hard to even fathom.
Yeah. It forced her to confront this really profound, difficult truth. Her whole idea of monsters and angels was just completely wrong.
How did she process that?
She said she saw monsters and angels right there and in all of us. The monsters, she realized, are our broken parts, our insecurities, the things demagogues prey on in times of fear to divide people.
Right.
Which leads to that crucial question, How do we create systems, create leadership that pull out the best of ourselves and help suppress those monsters?
It's like that parable of the two wolves inside us, right? Both exist. Which one do you feed?
Exactly. That experience, she says, was the biggest turning point. Incredibly stark, forcing this huge reevaluation.
You can see how it would be, personally, professionally.
Absolutely. Having seen the private sector, nonprofit finance, philanthropy, she realized our systems are just what we make of them.
We build them. We can rebuild them.
Precisely. And that understanding led her to found Acumen in 2001, driven by this profound insight she gained. The opposite of poverty isn't wealth, it's dignity.
That's such a key concept for her, dignity.
And her definition is so much broader than just money, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's about choice, freedom, safety, healthcare, education, feeling seen, not marginalized.
So her mission became using all the tools available, including patient capital, which basically evolved into impact investing, to enable human dignity and flourishing.
And central to that is her idea of the moral imagination.
Yes. Can you unpack that?
She defines it as the audacity to imagine the world as it could be, but the humility to see the world it is.
Audacity and humility together, holding another tension.
Exactly. Her approach became, start where you are. Start with what you have.
So it's not just about dreaming big abstract dreams, it's grounding them in the reality of now to build something real.
Right. Which leads to that question you mentioned earlier. If microfinance could give credit to millions, why couldn't similar models fix other broken systems? Like safe drinking water, healthcare, housing, energy.
Or literally half the world.
Yeah. And that thinking led to Acumen's really radical approach.
Yeah.
Raising philanthropy to invest in entrepreneurs.
Who are building companies that actually teach us where markets work, but also, crucially, where they fail.
Yeah, that was groundbreaking. Blending philanthropy and capitalism like that. People thought it was heresy back then.
Funding for-profit companies, not just for the money, but for genuine social change and justice.
So you look at an example, how does that play out?
Yeah, definitely. Cacao de Colombia is a really powerful one. Founded by Carlos from Colombia and Mayumi, a Japanese cacao whisperer from Tokyo. Carlos's moral imagination got sparked by Mayumi's quest for the world's best cacao. They decided to focus on post-conflict areas in Colombia.
Where poverty was deepest and trust was really scarce.
Exactly. I mean, the chocolate industry is huge, right? $100 billion. Yet 90% of the smallholder families growing the cacao make less than $2 a day.
That's appalling.
So they wanted to change that system, find the best cacao in these really tough areas, supported by Acumen's patient capital.
And a key part of their success was how they partnered with an indigenous group, the Arhuaco.
Yes. In the northern mountains, their whole cosmology puts the earth at the center, and Mayumi's Shintoism found this common ground with their worldview.
So it wasn't just a business deal.
No, it created this almost spiritual starting point, she said. The partnership became more like a covenant than just a contract.
Shifting the power dynamic,
Right.
entering as equals.
Right, which enabled the Arhuaco not only to export this amazing award-winning chocolate, but also to export their philosophy of sustainability.
That's a beautiful example of moral imagination in action. Respectful partnership.
Totally. And another quick one, Delight, a company Acumen supported for 12 years.
Ah, yes, the Solar Light Company.
Started by 2 business school grads. They had this $30 solar light and a dream. Bring light to the 1.5 billion people without electricity, eradicate kerosene.
Big ambition.
And today, Delight has brought light and electricity to 100 million of the world's poorest people.
Wow. 100 million.
Yeah. It just shows, she argues, that the problem can be solved. But only if you have that moral imagination, if you listen, if you see the poor as customers and actually bring them into the process.
It's about dignity again, isn't it? Seeing people as capable actors in their own lives.
Exactly. Which brings us back to the moral revolution. She knows moral can be a tricky word for people.
Yeah, it can sound preachy or judgmental.
Right. But for her, it's not about some higher authority dictating rules or even relative morality. It's about insisting on our individual and collective human dignity.
Okay.
It's a framework that demands we grapple with the hardest questions of our interdependent world and shift from a system purely driven by profit
To one that puts humanity and the earth at the center.
That's the core of it.
And if you think about the bigger picture, recent events like the pandemic just hammer home that fierce interdependence, don't they?
Absolutely. The virus doesn't care about borders or race.
It has to be solved for everyone. It requires collaboration, not just competition. Which does make you wonder, why aren't we seeing more of that kind of moral leadership?
It's a really compelling point, and it brings us back to her call for us to step into that collective responsibility. What's really hopeful, though, is the spirit she sees, especially in young entrepreneurs, during crises.
She shared some examples.
Yeah, really inspiring ones. Like Erica Mackey in Montana. She runs a daycare center model supporting 120 small businesses. During the crisis, she pivoted, raised money to keep them afloat, and is now totally reimagining affordable daycare.
Wow, adapting and building forward.
And Sam from Every Table in Compton, LA, he does healthy, affordable fast food. During lockdowns, he started offering food to low-income folks, elderly people. Created this pay-it-forward model.
Community stepping up.
Overnight, community contributions poured in. Amazing.
And it's global too, right? Not just the U.S.
Definitely. Abdullah Mui in Pakistan's Ministry of Education faced 12 million kids suddenly out of school. No internet access for many.
Huge challenge.
He pulled together this collaboration, cable TV channel, radio station, apps for education, all within 10 days. Reached millions, including kids who were previously outside the formal system.
Incredible speed and scale.
And she notes, these entrepreneurs, they know no left nor right. They're just focused on solving problems, building for the future.
That pragmatism is powerful.
It really is. And she draws on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s phrase here, the long and beautiful struggle. Changing the status quo is hard, right?
Yeah.
It works for some people, and they resist change. That's the struggle.
The beautiful part.
That's what sustains the work. The beauty and the attention it brings, and people finding themselves through the work, discovering our shared humanity. That joy of this work, she calls it, gives the resilience to keep going.
She had that quote about beauty, didn't she?
Yeah.
Quite profound.
Yes, let me find it. Here. Beauty is an expression of human dignity. It resides in the work of showing up, of extending ourselves, and bringing kindness when we feel like being anything but kind.
Beauty lives in the narratives of those who are striving to overcome profound obstacles just to survive. It thrives in the bonds of human connection and the quiet moments of contemplative reflection.
Let beauty be a powerful touchstone, not only to reinforce your own resolve, but to rejuvenate those you serve.
That really captures it. Dignity and beauty, even in the struggle.
Yeah. And her reminder, we are the system. We get to choose what the system is.
Is on us.
The beautiful struggle is deciding this world needs to be different, and we all need to be part of making it different. It's not easy, she admits.
It's probably the hardest path.
But it leads to the deepest level of meaning, she believes, and the most profound kind of joy.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for us? How does she define a good life based on all this?
Well, crucially, it's not defined by the usual metrics, money, fame, power. For Novogratz, a good life is measured by the amount of human energy that you can release in the world.
Releasing potential in others.
Exactly. And when that's multiplied, when many people live that kind of good life, it leads to a good society.
And a good society, for her, is one where success isn't just about how the wealthy are doing.
Right, but how the poor, the vulnerable, and the earth itself are faring. That's the real measure.
That's a fundamental shift in perspective.
It is. And she leaves us with this kind of expansion of the golden rule, moving beyond just do unto others.
What does she propose?
She asks, if we move from a place where each of us gave back to the world more than we took, just imagine the kind of world we could build.
Give back more than you take.
Yeah. Which leaves a pretty provocative question for you, listening right now. How might you, in your own sphere, whatever that is, practice giving back more than you take? How might you contribute to this ongoing moral revolution?
Something to really mull over.